Hey there, what's up everybody? This is Chris from the Switch Report and I'm coming at you with an exciting one today. It's not actually anything to do with the Nintendo Switch, but sort of. So what it is we all know that the Virtual Console is pretty much non-existent on the Nintendo Switch, and sometimes you just need to get your fix on the go with your retro games. So this is a system that will let you do just that. That is the BittBoy. This guy is a Gameboy style emulation device that will actually, it has expandable memory for micro SD card. It'll play NES, Famicom, Gameboy Color, and original Game Boy games. Has a 3.5mm headphone jack. Does support save states, which is always important because a lot of those games did not support saving. It all based on passwords. Alright, and you have a 2.4-inch IPS display, which is fantastic. The color reproduction, as you'll see here in just a second, is amazing. And then you have a full screen 16:9 aspect ratio, as well as a original 4:3. And then you also have adjustable screen brightness, as well as volume control. And you have a 700 milliamp rechargeable battery. It says 2 to 3 hours, but for most of the people that I've talked to, they say it tends to have more along the lines of 4 to 5 hours, and that's on full brightness. So that is awesome, because not often do you play those games for longer than that, being away from an outlet. Alrighty, and then you have TV out, which is honestly not all that important because it's not like you're going to be playing this 2-player or anything. You'd have to use the system wired to your TV through the composite cables. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into it. I already have the system and everything out of the box itself, simply because I wanted to charge the system and make sure that it had some juice on it. So we're going to slide this over here. And inside of there, you actually had another cardboard box that the BittBoy was actually sat on top of. And the BittBoy itself was protected by a small bag that was right here. But in this small brown box, you received the composite cable and the white micro USB that I actually have running to a USB port right over here. It's not very long. It's probably a foot. But still works nonetheless. So let's hop right into it. Just so you know, this guy does not come with games preloaded on him. You actually have to go and purchase your own micro SD card and load your own ROMs on here, which is perfectly fine because you're only going to be playing the games that you own, right? Right. That's perfectly reasonable and legal. Only download and back up the games that you already own physically onto your micro SD card. Very important, or else you're a total thief. But here we go. So what you're going to do is load the ROMs onto here and then put it in here. The SD card slot is right at the top. You can just slide that right in there. But I'm going to show you if it happens to just boot up to this screen and it never goes to a menu, then that means that you've either loaded the ROMs on there incorrectly, or you just don't have the SD card in there, or it's not detecting the SD card. So we're going to go ahead and power him off since I don't have the SD card in there. And then we're going to throw this guy right inside of here. It's spring-loaded, which is really nice, because it would kind of be next to impossible to get this guy out of this slot otherwise. But other than that, obviously there's the charge port, and then you have the 3.5mm headphone jack. But boot this guy up. We're going to zoom in, and I'm going to dim down the lights a little bit just to let you get a view of that beautiful, beautiful IPS display. So we're loaded into this menu right here. This is the MiU menu. I guess that's the OS that they decided to go with. But it lets you scroll through. It's pretty simple. There's not a ton of features to it, but I kind of like that. It's simple, straight to the point. Alright, so we're going to load right up into here and start up an NES game. And as you can see, audio seems to be doing pretty good. You can adjust it by holding select and then pressing A and B on red to adjust the volume, or holding select and then pressing the blacks will actually adjust your brightness. So, turn that guy up. You can hear he gets pretty dang loud. Now we're going to take him down a little bit. Alright, so go ahead and select him. And we're going to load right up into here. I'm looking through the viewfinder, so if I play like garbage, I'm sorry. That's just how it is. Alright, so everything seems to be running pretty well. So the scrolling right there seemed nice. Buttons seem very responsive. They feel nice. They're not super like mushy. They actually have a little tiny bit of resistance, which makes them feel really quality. Alright, so that seems to be working. Let's test out the save state. We're going to jump right here in midair and press that reset button. Alright, and that should let us hit the save state. I already have 2 right here because I tested this guy to make sure that at least the ROMs were loading up, so I didn't just have you guys looking at a blank screen. Bam. Saved. So, now we're going to go over here, and then we're going to hit that same save state that we just made. We're actually going to go... Oh, that's interesting. It froze right there. Alright, so let's try that again. I have a feeling that was because I was flying around that menu real quick. Let's try that again. Actually, it's a perfect time to test out to see if that save state went through correctly. Hit that, hit read, bam. Yeah, so that all seems to be doing really well. Ah, I died. Alright, so as you can see, you can also switch between full and standard 4x3. Looks very nice either way. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and hold the reset button. That's going to boot us out right to that menu. We're going to back out. And we're going to go right here to the original Game Boy. Now, these are not hard things to emulate right here. This thing is actually, I believe, running off of something called the All-Winner chip. And that's generally used inside of like picture frames and stuff, to my understanding. Alright, so you can hear audio sounds pretty dang swell. Let me go ahead and turn that down a tad bit. I'm going to have this guy stretched out, because I don't think it's actually full 16:9. I think it's somewhere in the range of like in between 4x3 and 16:9. It definitely doesn't look that distorted. Yeah, I mean, everything seems to be playing really well. Ah, okay. Bam. Alright. I love this game. If you guys never played this game, it's actually a really solid Game Boy game. I suggest you give it a shot. It's really fun. It's a kind of Adventure Island style. Bam. Alright. Oh, no! Okay. Alright. But yeah, that's all good. Again, save states do work on here as well. I made one right there. Let's just load that right back up. Ah, well, I died immediately. That's awesome. But, alright. So, we're just going to go ahead and kick ourselves right back out to the menu. That all seems really good. Audio sounded great. This screen is actually amazing. I can't believe how good this screen actually looks. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and load up into a Game Boy Color game. Let's try Legend of Zelda. See if he's booting up and looking all beautiful. Alright, just call ourselves Ah. Alright, So, we're following. We get that one quick line of text. Oh, man. Yeah, the colors on this screen are just amazing. Everything looks great. The viewing angles on this guy are outstanding. I mean, not that you're really going to be looking at this guy in any other angle than straight at you, but no, it looks fantastic. Even from right here where it's angled upward, the colors look fantastic to me. They look a tad different on the camera, but they look amazing on this display in person. But yeah, everything seems to be loading up really well. Let's see if how sound sounds on here. Everything seems really good. Audio seems really solid on here. Brightness. Yeah, brightness adjusts fine. It's really smooth UI. It's really responsive. Alright. Again, you can still do the same thing where you adjust the sizing of the display. I still really prefer the stretched out, because it doesn't really stretch it out all that much. It actually looks really nice. I could constantly play it like this. I mean, it is a little stretched out. You can tell from the sprite for Link, but it's not that bad. It's not bad at all. Alright, so now that we've tested generally most of the usual games that we'll be playing, let's try something that's a little more known for, like, pushing the hardware's limits. I put Wacky Races on here, which is a really fun but quirky Mario Kart style game. And it's interesting because it actually simulates 3D on the Gameboy Color, which is not a usual thing that people attempted to do. And this game did it reasonably well with a lot of sprite scaling, but it pushed the Game Boy to its limits by a lot. Alright, so let's get up into here. Man, the screen on here, I cannot get over how good this thing looks. Alright. So, we're going to be loaded up right into here. Go ahead and go. As you can see, this thing simulates 3D, and it does it really well. You have constantly scaling sprites, no matter where you go. Ooh. Man, this is not easy looking through a viewfinder, let me tell you that. But, gotcha. Woo. Yeah, no, everything seems to be playing well. I don't see any hiccups. I do hear, it sounds like the audio. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Let me turn it up for a second. It sounds like there's a little bit of breaking in the audio. But it's not super noticeable. Like, if I hadn't played the game before, I would just think it's probably a lower rate compression of that audio to this cartridge, because they're already pushing a lot of, like, sprites into this. It's a very impressive looking game for the Game Boy Color. All right, let's see if save state will actually work on a game like this and then load up fine. Because, like I said, it is a reasonably difficult game for the Game Boy Color. Yeah, it seems to emulate perfectly fine. That's awesome. Yeah. Alright. So, we're going to go ahead and boot ourselves right back out of there. That's pretty much it. There is a screen protector already on here. It's like one of those cheap little peel-off ones. I'm personally probably just going to leave that on there until it gets pretty scratched up. Just because this is plastic screen. It's not glass or anything, so it will get scratched. but it's a really solid handheld. I'm pretty dang impressed. It's 40 bucks. It's on pre-sale right now, so you can actually get a really solid deal on it. And like I said, it is really nice. You can take the cover off here. It shows the battery. That is pretty solidly on there, actually. There we go. Yeah, no, you see the battery right there. But yeah, no, that's really nice. It's got great build quality. The speaker gets super loud. You would be able to hear that no matter where you were. You could be in a stadium and still probably hear the audio from this guy. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll leave a link down in the description that'll actually go to BittBoy's website. Like I said, it's $39.99 right now. That does not include a micro SD card. You can add one, but honestly, I would just go get one from your local store. It's really cheap. It's going to be even cheaper than you would pay from adding one to your purchase on BittBoy. But that is about it for today. I hope you guys had a fantastic day and you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button and let me know what I can improve on. And then, if you haven't subscribed and you're enjoying this content, go ahead and subscribe because we release videos like this every Wednesday and Thursday. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will catch you next time on Switch Report.